Audio check. Hello everyone, I'm Ausyellow. Welcome back. For goodness sake, welcome back to Formula Paw. We have Max Verstappen is going to be the driver starting last, and we are going to Silverstone, a track that looks nothing like Silverstone. Oh, it's a wet race already. Tuxedo Noki followed by Willow Wolf. That's going to be quite exciting, actually. As usual, we skip the qualifying session and then get straight to the race. We have Tuxedo Noki, Willow Wolf, Alan Post, Sally Snowball, need to remember them all now, Angel Frost, Purton Senna, really good for Lotus there, Jake Villeneuve, Sebastian Vettel, Roxy Tundra, Kitty Softboards, Bart Clouder, Nelson Pupket, Whisper Wolf, Goldie Iris, Macho Gato, Michael Schusnacker, Oliver Behrman, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Ham, Phoebe Fittipaldi, Nigel Barksall, and Max Verstappen. Hang on, is this... That looks like intermediate tyres. Oh, damn it. Did I muck up the race start? No, those are wets. Oh, for goodness sake, what have I done? Right, Right, hang on. Because it was a wet race, you know what? Just forget it. We'll do a dry race, okay? Didn't mean to do that, right? My fault, but that's not really going to affect much anyway. Besides, it is Britain, so it will get wetter over time. And it is lights out and away we go, presumably. Tuxedo Noki gets away well. Tries to cover Willow Wolf, who was on the medium tyres. That's not the best idea for the start. Alan Post is already up into, or was already up into second place. Willow Wolf has not the inside line here. 5-second time penalty has been given to Macho Gato for causing some sort of collision. And the top three appear to remain as they are. There is Sebastian Vettel. Doesn't look like anyone's dropped back substantially. Well, Roxy Tundra has got on a 5-second time penalty as well. Jake Villeneuve still remains in the top 10, and Villeneuve's got another 5-second time penalty. I do believe that Villeneuve has not gone a single race without getting a penalty. Which is one hell of a stat right there. Max Verstappen still made no overtakes as of yet. Actually, what I should have done was picked wet, gone onto the alternate camera, and if like all of the tyres were still wet, just leave it as it is. Yeah, that's my fault there. But I mean, honestly, I don't really know if there's much of a difference between each of the drivers in wet and dry conditions. I don't know if one driver is better than another on dry conditions, and then the roles are reversed in wet conditions. But regardless, for now, it does not matter. No crashes yet. We're just waiting for crashes at this rate. That was a nice move up the inside for Roxy Tundra by the looks of it. Macho Gato trying to get within the points, even though Gato has a 5-second time penalty. Tundra's out the points already. Hard tyres not doing Tundra any favour. Tundra and Whisper probably not going to pit whatsoever this race, because that's usually what happens. 52 laps. 52 laps it is, even. And there's Lewis Ham. Willow Wolf all the way down into 5th position as of right now. It's not... There goes Lewis Ham up the inside of Whisper Wolf there. Whisper Wolf lost the position to Ham and Behrman as well. It's not really going so well for Klonigsargs, who are sort of fighting for the championship. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, we've already just started. Whisper is not really in a great position, especially with hard tyres, probably not going to score any points. Willow looks like she might score points. The only downside is the medium tyres, slowing Willow down at the start of the race. And even then, Whisper is the Klonigsarg with the most amount of points. Max Verstappen, P18 currently. We always have to pay attention to the driver in last place, because usually they make up an awful lot of places. Alan Post sets the fastest lap, and track limits warning to Michael Shoesnacker. That's the first track limits warning I think we've seen all season. Track limits in this game are weird. And because I might have explained this in the past. If you cut a corner, you get a 1 warning for cutting a corner. You cut it again, you get a 5-second time penalty. You cut it for the 3rd time, and then you get another warning. And then you cut it for the 4th time, you get another 5-second time penalty. PB Fittipaldi also has a 5-second time penalty and is currently in last with the medium tyres. Whisper Wolf is dropping down the order on them hard tyres. Not much they can really do about that. So that's cutting corners, which makes sense. Track limits. If you exceed track limits on 3 different occasions, you get 3 different warnings, and then if you exceed track limits for the 4th time, you get a 5-second time penalty, and then the cycle repeats just as it would do for cutting corners. But track limits are just rubbish because in qualifying I've been penalised for track limits in this game, and that would be for running slightly wide on the corner. Putting 2 wheels on the red and white markings, that should be fine. If you put 4 wheels on the red and white markings, then that's it, you've had it. It's a track limits thing. But also track limit sort of depends on your rate of acceleration. If you're sort of exceeding track limits, but you slow down, you won't get a track limits warning. But if you sort of exceed track limits but don't slow down, you will get 1 warning. So it's just weird, and that's pointless information about track limits. Lotus Whiskers doing incredibly well in 2nd and 4th with fastest lap. Racing Paw as well, incredibly strong in 1st and 3rd. I said ages ago, Racing Paw seemed to be the dominant force, especially in all of the pre-testing as well. Willow Wolf is defending quite well, I might add. No positions have been lost as of yet. It's usually around lap 20 that the soft tyres would come in, and then about lap 30-ish the medium tyres would come in. You want to go from mediums to softs by the looks of things, or you could do double medium, and then softs are probably going to go to medium, and then if someone's feeling a bit risky there, they're going to go from softs to mediums and then back to softs again, I guess. Or you could just do triple softs. You can use a million soft tyres in this. There's no such thing as limited number of tyres, or there's no scrub sets or anything like that. It's just you go into the pits and you get a new set of tyres. They are brand new, and you have unlimited sets of each. I hate them camera angles, especially when they position them on corners. If you could position camera angles in this game, that would make it an awful lot easier to do this thing. Because then they'll be positioned in better spots, and you wouldn't get shots like this behind the fence. Here's Willow Wolf coming through Maggots and Beckett's. I don't really know the names of most of these corners. I think that this is there's the Hammer Straight, the Kemmel Straight, the Wellington Straight, and the Hamilton Straight, I think. And then there's also Cop's Corner at the end. There's Sebastian Vettel finally on the inside of Willow. Willow has the inside line into the final chicane, but that's not enough. Sebastian Vettel is up into P5 at last. But Willow Wolf will certainly want to fight back, and why did we cut back there? Into Abbey, Willow takes the lead. No, doesn't take the lead. Regains 5th position. Honestly, if I could use all of the corners, I would, but I don't know all the names of all of them. I know the names around Monza, or most of the corner names around Monza. I know most of the corner names around Spa. Actually, I think I know all of them. And on the inside, Sebastian Vettel is up into P5, but probably not for long. The sky does look classically British. I'm in England right now, and I'm looking outside, and the sky in the game is sort of similar to the sky in real life right now, so yeah, I sort of expected that anyway. Angel Frost fighting against Willow Wolf now. They both have medium tyres, so if anything, this is just a showcase of skill. I do believe that Willow has the higher skill rating, and that's it really. Max Verstappen P17. Not much has happened there. And look at that huge lead, 5-second lead between Sebastian Vettel and Ayrton Senna. It's really just Racing Paw versus Lotus Whiskers at this rate. I kind of want to get this recording out the way just so I can go back to what I was doing on Minecraft. Yeah, I was playing Minecraft until midnight last night because I can. I was mucking about with stonks, or stocks even, because I am rich. I need to do the wither stuff next, and I have a plan for that. So yeah, you can import custom libraries into this, but like if this was on my phone, I would have a better idea on how to import custom libraries. But because it's on my laptop, I'm not 100% sure. Because like this is a Android emulator, or Android emulator of sorts, and like the way that, because like the way that the Android emulator operates internal storage is weird, to say the least. I mean, you might as well just buy the phone. You might as well just buy the phone as opposed to mucking about with emulators. That being said, Apple or iOS, there's like, I can't find any good emulators for them. There's probably loads of them, so if you found one, let me know in the comments. I also found out, right, because I posted my map, my 1000 stage parkour map, like 4 days later, when I came around to posting the final video and acquiring the map link, I noticed that 100 odd people, and then some, like between 100 and 400 people, had viewed the map and downloaded it, and I was just like, what the hell? I also found that it had like 2 likes and 1 dislike. I mean, honestly, there I don't really care, because I mean, you're sort of meant to find it through YouTube, but if you find it on Planet Minecraft, I think, planetminecraft.com, that's just totally fine. I was trying to upload it to minecraftmaps.com, but they take bloody ages to verify a map, and I was just, because I uploaded it like weeks beforehand, and they hadn't gotten back to me, and I was just like, you know what, forget it, alright? Minecraftmaps.com, you've let me down. Tuxedo Noki, race leader still, started on pole position, nothing has changed there. DRS zones, where are they? They're probably in the Hamilton Straight and the straight after it. I can't remember the name of the name of the straight. It's the straight that Noki is entering just now. Right. Well, anyway, Tuxedo Noki is followed by Alan Porst, Sally Snowball, Ayrton Senna, Sebastian Vettel, Angel Frost, Willow Wolf, Jake Villeneuve, Kitty Softpaws, Macho Gato, Nelson Puckett, Oliver Behrman, Roxy Tundra, Goldie Iris, Lewis Ham, Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Michael Schumacher, Bark Lauder, Nigel Barksall, Whisper Wolf, and Phoebe Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi, Villeneuve, and Gato, as well as Tundra, have 5-second time penalties for something. I'm not sure. Bark Lauder not having the best race as well. Had a really good race in Yas Marina, but unfortunately suffered from a puncture that completely killed the race there. At the end of it, nothing much you can really do about it. And Ayrton Senna, by the looks of things, has appeared to have dropped off from the battle up front, so it's just going to be a 3-way battle for first, I hope at least, because this is sort of turning into Monaco. No one's overtaking or anything like that, but I mean, actual Monaco in this game is far more exciting. There's tons of crashes. I think in the preview there was a couple of crashes there. That was a nice battle between Schumacher and Lauda, but no positions changed. What is going on with Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen has just not made many advancements on the soft tires. The soft tires might actually be dying out now. I really should do more analysis into this, just to see how different the tire wear is. Like, if anything, it should be compared to one map, because it's Fittipaldi trying to get out of last place, alas to no avail. I think I did this on Francorchamps, which is Spa in Belgium. I think it was like 4% decrease or something like that on hard tires. I don't know. But the shortest track in the race is Monaco. The shortest track in the entire series even is Monaco, at like 3.8-ish kilometers, and that's why there's like 78 laps in Monaco. Shortest track, on the other hand, with 7.8 or 8 kilometers or something like that, is Spa Circuit de Francorchamps. That's why there's 44 laps there, and that just almost perfectly outlines. Oh my goodness, what was it? I can't remember the name of it. It's the forgetting list one. Why can I remember it? Someone's studying psychology. Murdoch's serial position, for goodness sake. Yeah, it outlines Murdoch's serial position, where like you remember things at the start and the end of the list easier than the stuff in between. And actually, you tend to take notice more of the stuff at the start and at the end as well. Anyway, Bark Lauda is fighting against Nigel Barkster right now. It's really not going well for Lauda, unfortunately. I do have the stats right in front of me. I don't think Lauda's scored a point yet. No, I don't think so. Actually, I don't need to look at that. I can look at it this way. Bark Lauda. Yeah, Bark Lauda hasn't scored a point yet. That's unfortunate. Would have done so in Yes Marina, most likely, but was unable to do so. And then I believe it is both the Wolff-Williams pair who haven't scored a point either. Wolff-Williams yet to score, Lauda also yet to score, unfortunately, but like Lauda is quite a good racer as well. There's no denying that. In this context, I mean, in real life, he probably was back in the day. And actually, he won championships as well. That's why his name's here. And actually, that being said, you don't need to win championships. I mean, Oliver Behrman's there, but like that's only because it's a nice pun of bear. Sully Snowball looking to make it a Racing Paul 1-2, trying to overtake Alain Prost, but was unable to there. Tuxedo Nokia has almost escaped the Lotus Whiskers there. Senna appears to have caught back up to the battle, so it's now going to be a three-way battle for second place. Sebastian Vettel still miles behind. It was due to Willow Wolf. Angel Frost is actually closer to Sebastian Vettel now than Willow. Willow might be dropping off a little bit here, which is not really what the Koenigsegg's want, but points are points, and that's really what you want in something as chaotic as Formula 4. Max Verstappen up into P15. So, I needed to make the case for rebalancing. Because, I mean, here it doesn't it doesn't seem like it needs to be rebalanced, because Max Verstappen is not completely blitzing the pack like Jake Villeneuve and Oliver Bearman did in the starting races. And there's Goldie Iris. Can't remember who Goldie Iris overtook then. Where is the... I haven't used this note in a while. Nothing start differentials, there we are. Fernando Alonso and Lewis Ham battling there. Lewis Ham seems to be in the better position. Right, back to reality, I guess. Honestly, it looks like it's going to rain. Whoa! Roxy Tundra. That is clearly a puncture there. I think it's rear left. Yeah, rear left is punctured. Tundra's race is now just completely ruined. Tuxedo Noki is soaring ahead at this rate. I think Tuxedo Noki is going to get a second win if Tuxedo Noki can convert this. Yeah, it will be a second win. And Angel Frost might now be under attack by Willow. One thing that this game really needs is there's another game out there. It's like a sort of top-down version of F1, and it has like a dial, and it says it tells you whether whether the weather is cloudy, sunny, or raining. And I think like just after it's wet, when it's sort of when it's sort of in the cloudy phase, the track is still not dry yet, or it dries up much slower than usual. And then like you need to wait for it to dry. You need to like either wait a really long time or wait for the track or the weather to be very dry, so that the track dries up. That is Phoebe Fittipaldi and Roxy Tundra, both Wolfden Martins, are like dead last as well. An unfortunate outset for Tundra. I think Tundra was actually in the points or very near the points, so there's almost nothing you can do there. Max Verstappen has also finally gotten ahead of Goldie Iris, as well as Schumacher, up into 13th. Race is still in the opening phase-ish. Tundra has also returned on soft tyres. Now, the gamble at the start when you're in a situation like this is that soft tyres have been the better option, because they've dragged an awful lot of racers forwards. Oh my goodness, Sally Snowball is up into second place. I don't know if I missed that. There's Alan Prost up into second place, never mind. So the soft tyres have been beneficial now, and if it starts raining and everyone has to come in on wet tyres, then the soft tyres were the tyre to start on. But if it starts raining when the medium tyres start coming in, then the medium tyres were much better, because the soft tyres have already come in and had to make 2 stops, or will have to make 2 stops now. But unfortunately, there's no weather technology here. There's no weather indication whatsoever. And I've been in situations where, like, there's drivers ahead of me and they go to pits, and I don't notice this, and I drive past the pit wall, and I'm just like, why am I in first place? And then they come out on intermediate tyres, and I'm just like, oh, for goodness sake, it's raining. And like, it's not that I'm blind or anything, but like, you cannot see the rain when the rain actually starts. When the rain actually starts and people and drivers go into the pits, you don't notice. it's only like a few minutes after that. Actually, I say a few minutes, like at least a lap after they start going into the pits. Do you notice the rain? And also, like, then you would notice the spray as well. So that's a bit annoying in this game. Alan Prost holding off really well for Lotus. I don't believe Lotus have had the best time. And there's Fittipaldi still trying to get round Whisper. I think that might have been it. I don't think Whisper can... Oh no, Whisper is certainly going to fight back into Abbey. But that is not enough. Yes, Fittipaldi has finally overtaken Whisper. There's Jake Villeneuve. What was I talking about? I was talking about Lotus. Lotus doesn't have a win yet. Alan Prost only has 1 point, and that's the point he scored in the first race as well. But I mean, it's the fastest lap, so that's happened. Lap number 17, no sign of the soft tyres dropping back or anything like that, or anyone wanting to pit until now, because Angel Frost has tried the inside line into the final chicane, and that just wasn't enough, but it is now ERS enabled, and the inside line into Abbey, but Sebastian Vettel was just able to stay ahead ever so slightly, and that gap has closed between Sebastian Vettel and the front runners. That's also inadvertently bringing Willow to the front, but not the front where Noki is, miles ahead of Alan Prost, currently 4.7 seconds, but I think that's a judgment of distance, not time, which is another thing I think this game needs to sort of fix. And actually, if they're going to add in tracks, add in Sochi, the one from Portugal as well, Luna Seca as well, that's quite a good one. I can't think of any others. And Sebastian Vettel has actually been overtaken. Again, I don't remember, I don't know if that was on camera or not. I need to get back into the groove of making these videos, because it has just been so long. And actually, I'm going to say this right now. My calculator said that of the, I think it was 25 videos I made on the world's longest parkour map. Well, roughly, the total was 857 minutes, right? 857 minutes of footage that I posted. That's 14.3 hours. 14.3 hours. And that's like hours worth of editing, hours worth of recording as well, and just playing the map. So, yeah. Oh my goodness, and Willow's ahead of Sebastian Vettel now. I do believe I mentioned something like that in the description. But I think I said it took us like 10 hours to complete the first 90%, so 4 hours to complete the remaining 10 does seem about... Well, it probably is about right, to be honest, because when we started on Sunday, that's when Brandon had to complete the last 100. Person Senna tried to make an attack on Sally Snowball there, and Angel Frost has now been brought into the battle now, and that is definitely a sign that the soft tyres are sort of running out of juice. And actually, that does remind me, I remembered a joke recently, and that was, why did the orange stop rolling? Because it ran out of juice. Wow, that's not funny. Anyway, Sebastian Vettel is behind the top 3 medium tyre drivers. And that is incredible right there. Max Verstappen has a gap to close before you can actually start gaining points. There he is, right there even. I wish that like the AI could use like neural networks and stuff like that in this, because that would make it an awful lot better. And also, if it used a version of neural networks where someone races around a track or tracks, and then the AI sort of copies their racing line. That is Angel Frost trying the inside line into Cops to get past Pert and Senna, but into Maggots and Beckett's. It doesn't look like Frost is ahead, but on the exit, that is certainly a lead down to, I think that this is the Hammer Straight. There goes Willow! Through goes Willow, gaining 2 positions there up into P4. What a manoeuvre! And it sort of reminded me of through goes Hamilton! That meme from 2022, I think. Willow Wolf, an incredible performance right there. Certainly has not dropped back. Max Verstappen is in striking range and like almost instantly gets past Oliver Behrman, but Behrman is in the pits. Yes, he is. That could have been a little bit catastrophic, because like sometimes the AI is just like, if the AI is on the outside and you're on the inside of the pit wall, the AI will just run straight into you if it wants to pit. Which is certainly something that needs to be looked into. Behrman comes out on medium tyres. Yes. There's Jake Villeneuve on Pert and Senna. This is a sign that you should change tyres, only they haven't worked out. They're not really attuned to strategy, I don't think. Right, what's going on up here? Willow Wolf maintaining the position. However, as we come on to, I believe that this is the Hammer Straight. If I'm saying this wrong for the entire video, that's going to annoy me a little bit. But it doesn't look like Willow can make a move there. I know that the start-finish straight is actually called the Hamilton Straight. I think it was renamed in 2020. And that looks like a Willow really strong, but yep, Sally Snowball is in the pits, so Willow is instantly promoted up into P3. Where does Sally Snowball come out? Because this will be quite important. Sally Snowball is at the end of the pit wall, that's right. Racing Paws at the very end of the pit wall. They're pitting quite slowly, and I think because like it usually doesn't benefit top like the teams at the entrance of the pit wall. Like oh my goodness, Sally Snowball P17 on medium tyres. At the entrance of the pit wall, it doesn't benefit like I think Mercedes, Petronas, Ferrari, and all of them. That's just because it gets really congested, and the drivers who pit there just wind up waiting for everyone else to go past. So yeah, I mean, if you can like quickly move them around or like decide the position in the pit wall, that would be quite good. But you can't as well. There is a Discord player for Monoposto, but it's not. Yeah, I mean that like. I mean it's people just. It's mainly people posting like the way that they do races. That I use these liveries, use these statistics, and there goes Willow Wolf up into P2. And Alan Prost goes straight into the pits. That could have been dangerous there, but fortunately it wasn't. Can we look at a driver that's actually racing and not a driver that's in the pits? It's so janky when they go into the pits. Max Verstappen also goes into the pits as well to go for medium tyres. Alan Prost is also on medium tyres as well. There's also people on the Monoposto Discord who are just posting about like, oh, can we have this map? Can we have this map? And it's like street circuits. Alonso and Behrman also in the pits. That is Prost fighting against Whisper. It's not really going to be much of a fight there because Whisper is on very old, hard tyres. The AI also does Snake. Wait 1 moment. No, I want them on. Right. Well, I mean, there's no crashes recently, so that should be fine. The AI also does snake or slalom to increase the tyre temperature under the safety car and stuff like that, which is quite a nice feature. I really do like that. Even though most of the time it don't work. Like all of the tyres I can get up to temperature really quickly. Intermediate tyres I hate. Like I think there was one time around Spa. I don't know how many laps it took me to get them tyres up to temperature. They just would not warm up. And also it was like slightly wet as well, so I just couldn't get them to warm up. There's Lewis Ham on the inside of Shoe Snacker, looking for points, even though right now you don't really want the race lead, you want the net race lead. Macho Gatto goes into the pits. I would have thought real life Sebastian Vettel would have gone into the pits as soon as he started getting like madly overtaken. There was quite a gap between Popket and Sebastian Vettel right now. But if Noki were to pit, that'll be 4 seconds behind Snowball, roughly. So yes, the idea is ideally you want to pit early, but also you don't want to pit too late. Me, I just like, because for some reason I really struggle to keep the tire. I struggle to like be very competitive on tires that are very old. So like usually I take soft tires 10 laps in or something ludicrous like that. But I mean, like, the reason why I don't race is because I make the races look boring. I sit out in front all race. But I mean, that's why I usually start in last, because I can qualify first on almost every track. The exceptions being Las Vegas. I'm not 100% sure if I can qualify first in Las Vegas. Another exception is Mexico City. Another exception used to be COTA, because I was terrible there, but I've massively improved at COTA. I should really start improving it in Mexico City. Willow is in the lead. Tuxedo Noki is also in the pits. Will Tuxedo Noki come out ahead of Sally Snowball? Yes, only just. Both of them are on medium tyres. So the race is really going Noki's way. Is, out of curiosity, Snowball's helmet white? It is. I think there was one time that Snowball's helmet was blue, I think, and Noki's helmet was white. And I just changed them to, because I think I did like a random colour thing, which was stupid. And then like I like some of these are like sort of what you would like, just some prediction, I guess. And then others are like actual helmets that the driver in real life wore. Like Lewis Ham has the yellow one on. Depending on what team Fernando was with, he also had a yellow one at one point, I think. PK had a yellow one as well, according to ChatGPT. Because I only use ChatGPT for some of the names, the numbers, and the helmets. There's Angel Frost fighting for the lead against Willow Wolf, but it's not really going to be a good lead, because what you want is you want to pit now. Also, if you could get like multiple people connected to this race to like govern the team, like let one driver pass, for example, and also get the drivers in the pits when they need to. That would make it quite easy, interesting, and also more intense. I guess Pupket is in the pits. I don't know if I already said that. Sebastian Vettel is the last of the soft tyre drivers to pit with a 5-second gap to P3, which is currently Willow. Should really pit on them tyres, Whisper. Because they can last the whole race. I think there was one time I got completely like screwed over by someone using soft tyres, no, medium, hard tyres even, and they just didn't pit for the entire race. And somehow, I think it must have been like a half race or something like that. But the thing I don't like about this is that half races, you would expect soft tyres to go 20 laps, but half races to go 10 laps for the AI, and that just annoys me. So like clearly they've adjusted the tyre power threshold. You can also totally cut the pit wall corners. You can do a really big cut in Catalonia, and like that's not track limits. That is not track limits, and I don't know why. I mean, you can properly like clip a corner, go all four wheels over the edge of the corner, and be fine for some reason. But you run two wheels too wide, and that's two wheels on the same side too wide, and go off the track a little bit, and then that's instantly track limits. This game is weird when it comes to that stuff. Now the question is, what will Frost, Villeneuve and Willow pit for, and why is Willow 2 seconds behind? I have no idea how that happened. Lauda is in the points, as well as Whisper, but not for long because they're going to get overtaken by the drivers who have pitted. Lauda has also not pitted yet. I don't think Behrman has. Racing Paw have come out of this an awful lot better. Pert and Senna, I think, has got it the worst for now. And actually, like, in terms of this, pitting early is better because all of the other drivers are slower on old tyres, so you can easily blitz them. But when you pit late, there's a bunch of drivers with newer tyres, so it's harder to get past. And look at that, Tuxedo Nocky right up Willow's exhaust pipe. And yes, these cars do have exhaust pipes because they make this sound. I mean, if they were electric, they wouldn't be making this sound. If anything, it would be like. Well, actually, it wouldn't be like that. Well, I mean, it kind of would, but it would be a little bit more quieter and a little less exciting, right? Because like combustion engines, but like electrical engines, and that's not my impression of a V10 engine or something like that. No, a V10 engine. I think, I don't know. I haven't done engines in a while. That sounded rubbish. Nocky is ahead of Willow. Don't know what's going on with Willow, to be honest. And also, one thing that does annoy me a little bit, on a track that is, for example, 1 minute 30 seconds long per lap, you would have drivers be 1 minute 40 behind the race leader, which makes no sense. Yeah, that just makes no sense because, like, the 1 minute 40, I think that's just judging by distance. But like then again, you will overtake them really quickly, and their distance to the race leader won't come up as much, or won't come up at all, unless they get unlapped or something. Snowball and Nocky are both ahead of Willow. Nocky is ahead of Villeneuve right now, and Nocky is looking to regain the race lead. It's going to be a Racing Paw 1-2 for quite a while, I think. Jeez. Also, one benefit to this, all of them are equal. There's no such thing as a gender difference in this, because there's tons of news nowadays that's just getting ridiculous about sports and different genders being far better than others. Porsche is ahead of Willow right now. Nocky is in the lead, and it decided not to show us that. That is Angel Frost in the pits. That is what they should have done. That is what Willow should have done. That is what Villeneuve should have done a while back. And that is a soft tyres. Frost will be taking them soft tyres to the end, I presume. It all depends on where Frost is going to come out. Frost comes out around P14, 15 by the looks of things. Max Verstappen, P7. I don't think Max Verstappen is going to pit again. And actually, I think Frost and Willow fought in the very first race in a similar scenario like this, and Frost sort of had the advantage for pitting slightly later. But even then, it's not much, and it is quite a risk. That is Oliver Behrman getting past Willow right now. Oh, and that was very wide there. And is thoroughly ahead. A very good day it was for Lotus, but I mean, they're still going to get points nevertheless. It's also an incredibly good day for Racing Paw. And it has now become a very good day for Tailwind Racing. Both of them very high, like both of them in the top 5, which is an incredible performance. 5-second time penalty given to Whisper Wolf for causing some collision somewhere. No proper crashes have happened yet. I'm still waiting on crashes. Yeah, so like, if you really want a race full of crashes, you're gonna have to wait until we go to Montreal. I think how many laps are in Montreal? I think it's 70. So because it's 70, Montreal has got to be a I think it has to be a 50% race at 35 laps. Reason why is because, like, I had that's Willow ahead of, or Verstappen ahead of Willow. I had a race with the safety car on, I think, and it took me like 2 hours to get around Montreal. And or like to finish the 100% race. And it is also a bit ironic as well, because Montreal has the longest race, or holds the record for being the longest race in F1 history, lasting 4 hours. So yeah, it will last a very long time, because what's going to happen is, oh my goodness, the two Woofton Martins fighting at the very back. It's a 5-second time penalty to Frost. Angel Frost, that's really not good, especially for Frost's current position, and that is Willow Wolf being overtaken by Macho Gatto. So yeah, what will happen without the safety car? Oh, and actually, I would just like to mention something about that safety car race really quick. I lost that safety car race, right? And I'll tell you why. It was so difficult to overlap the drivers, okay? Usually that's not a problem, right? But the challenge was, because safety car was enabled, the drivers kept crashing, which was really annoying. The drivers kept crashing, so the safety car kept coming out. That's 4 laps down the hole. And then what happened was, oh my goodness, like, the race ended under the safety car. Really annoying, okay? But what is even more annoying was the fact that, like, I had a 5-second time penalty for some accidental collision I caused at the very beginning of the race, and you can't take time penalties in the pits, which really annoys me. And like, everyone else who remained, at least, because there was like 7 drivers left, everyone else who remained had 5, 10 or 15-second time penalties, bar 2 drivers. So I finished in 3rd. 5-second time penalty to Frost again. It's 10 seconds. Frost is like certainly going to be out of contention. Willow has pitted. Villeneuve needs to pit at some point. Willow has got quite a fight on her hands in the last 20 laps, I think. Because I think the way it is, it's the gap between the 2 numbers plus 1. The reason why is because it's an error by one situation. Willow has come out P19 on these soft tyres. The right tyre choice this time, unlike the medium tyres chosen by Whisper, I think it was, in Yes Marina. Landed Whisper a third place finish. Yes, it did. Alan Post still holds on to the fastest lap. That does not mean anything unless wet tyres come out, in which no one will be able to challenge that fastest lap whatsoever. 36 seconds to close down the gap. That is quite a climb for Willow. Yeah, so anyway, I finished third under that safety car. And the two drivers without penalties finished first and second, respectively. Super annoying. Yeah. So, and also one bit of behaviour I did notice during some of the pre-tests was that all of the drivers would die out. There would be like 3 drivers left, I think. I've only seen 3 drivers remain when racing in Montreal, which is just incredible to think about. Yeah, so 3 drivers remaining. And what happened was they just kept crashing. Light damage, because I don't think they can crash and completely end their race. I could be wrong in saying that. They just kept crashing, kept hitting, and then going out again. A couple laps later, kept crashing. And I mean, you don't want to watch that for like the 35 other laps that we're going to cut out. So yeah. But I can almost guarantee that in Montreal, the race leader will not be the race winner. I mean, you could start dead last has won race on occasion. You can start 22nd, which is pretty much like dead last for all of the drivers without an increase in differential setup. You can start 22nd and win. You can start in any position whatsoever and just still completely lose. And that's all just because of one corner. That one corner being the chicane at the end, which I can show you once we get to there. Like, basically what happens is they turn in too late and clip the pit wall, or like the exit of the chicane corner. And then they just, like, because of that, they lose control of the car, and then they just crash straight into the wall. Okay, and like, because multiple drivers do that, you sort of get gridlock, and then other drivers come in and just smash straight into the drivers who are going nowhere. That's sort of why in the Formula 4 theme entrance thing, there was tons. There was just tons and tons of pieces of footage just taken from Montreal. So, Willow Wolf, not in the points, has a 5-second gap to close down to Whisper, and is then still not in the points. Quite a few laps to go, but it is still diminishing. Tuxedo Noki holds a gigantic lead over Anand Post, who has just gotten ahead of Sully Snowball. Max Verstappen is not in the fight for podiums, but is incredibly menacing, especially with especially with the increased differential setup completely blitzing Oliver Behrman. I do believe that Max Verstappen won the previous race in the previous race was in Yes Marina, if I'm not mistaken. No, it wasn't. It was in Marina Bay, and then there's Yes Marina. Yeah, okay. Anyway. And also Sepang. Right, please, for the love of God, Monoposto, add Sepang. into the Malaysian Grand Prix. Sepang is like a really good race, or it's a really good track. I really like the layout. Anyway, because we haven't raced in real life in Sepang since like 2018 or something. A little bit unfortunate as well, because Sepang was a really nice track. It is looking even more British now, with the just grey sky and looming rain, because we haven't gotten any of that stuff yet. If that happens, Willow's race is completely ruined, as are many of the comeback races. Frost's race is ruined. I mean, Racing Paw will be completely fine because they'll pit. And actually, I think it might wind up with a Racing Paw 1-2, because what will happen is they'll pit and they'll just leave. Whereas, like, Mercedes Petronas, for example, can't just pit and leave. They've got to pit and wait for everyone to go past and then leave. Same thing for Ferrari and Pero Rojo. This is why, like, gaps in between drivers is really good, or like really necessary, because you need like at least a 5-second gap, I think, between two drivers, such that you can pit and then not intercept each other whatsoever. I hope. Schumacher and Hamilton into the pits. No one has actually been overlapped yet. There might have been 1 or 2 overlaps in the previous races. I don't know. It has been such a long time. Willow is up into 15th position. And now has Villeneuve. Villeneuve has not pitted. Why has Villeneuve not pitted? It does not make any sense whatsoever. And actually, one thing we need to look at now is the positions of the drivers with respect to their penalties. Macho Gatto shall be P10 by the looks of things, and Frost shall be around where Fernando Alonso is. Yeah, roughly. And there's Gatto ahead of Behrman. Macho Gatto is doing incredibly well for Ferrari. Actually, the Ferraris started really far back, didn't they? And also Nelson Pupket. Nelson Pupket's going to get points. Yes, Nelson Pupket will be getting points for Wolf Williams. There goes Willow at the inside of Nigel Barksdale. I thought that was Alonso for a second then. Yes, Pupket will be getting points. The only obstacle in Pupket's way, I guess, is Willow. If anything, Pupket should be like applying more pressure now. But actually, I don't think that they'll wind up with points because of just where Willow is right now. And actually, believe it or not, Fittipaldi, I think it was, had a puncture and is still in the race. But then again, Fittipaldi didn't get a puncture on like the first few corners like Lauda. But I mean, my goodness. Yes, Wolf Williams are going to get points because although they're not in the top 10, Frost will jump out the top 10, granting Pupket some points. And why are you going so slow there? And yeah. Anyway, Willow has closed down to Fernando Alonso. Honestly, comebacks like these are things you always want to watch. Tuxedo Noki miles ahead in first place, drastically extending the championship lead. Second race win for Tuxedo Noki as well, despite me consistently saying that Sally Snowball seems to be more of a dominant force. Sally Snowball has not scored more than 6 points in this entire season. That is certainly going to be changing right now, with an outlook on 18 points, maybe 15 at a minimum, depending on where Snowball comes out. There's Max Verstappen in the background, looking very menacing behind Alain Prost, who's looking for a podium, a very good finish for Racing Paw. Willow is also ahead of Fernando Alonso and has a huge gap to close down Pupket. Pupket has started fighting, and or like closing down the gap to Kitty Softpaws. Only time will tell, really. It's Kitty Softpaws versus Nelson Puckett. Not really for points anyway, because they'll both gain points. The question is, Frost will come out ahead of Willow for now, and actually now it looks like it's going to be behind. That's because they're judging distance, not time. Hence why there's 140 for a car that's just about to be overlapped on a circuit that takes about 1 minute 30 to get round, or something like that. Oh my goodness, the weather in real life has become less British. The sun is out. That's a surprise. Usually I'm not paying attention to the weather, I don't really know what it is. I spend most of my time indoors. Lol. I wish that was not true. Anyway. Boxy Tundra in the pits again. Was it Tundra? Or was it must have been Fittipaldi, I think, that had the puncture. Tundra might be overlapped here. Tundra comes out on medium tyres instead of soft tyres for the remaining 13 laps. Don't know what went wrong there. That is Nelson Puckett up into P10, scoring points for Wolfillians, and doesn't even need to rely on time penalties at this rate. Willow trying to close the gap, but sort of struggling for Klornigzog. I mean, like, Klornigzog had it, they just didn't deliver with the medium tyres. I mean, they might have had better chances, or like medium tyre start for Willow. They might have had better chances if it was in the wet, and if I didn't muck up the wet race. But I mean, like, that happened. Okay, there's nothing you can really do about it. And I mean, it's not like pulling out the safety car on like the last few laps to decide a championship, okay, because that is just dumb. I mean, thank goodness he was fucking sacked. Max Verstappen is certainly closing in on Sally Snowball, looking for a podium. I think Verstappen only has, just one race win, and that's it. No other podiums whatsoever. Angel Frost and Macho Gatto fighting on what I've been seeing is the Hammer Straight. I'm not 100% sure. But no position change there. Purton Senna almost had the inside line on Oliver Behrman. I mean, if we can get aerial shots, that would be quite cool. But that's unfortunately not a thing. Nelson Puckett might actually be looking to get past Sebastian Vettel for even more points in the championship. Or like even more points, even more first points as well. An incredible performance for Puckett. Barksall, I like Puckett has a skill level of 8, if I'm not mistaken. No one has a skill level of 7 for some reason. And Barksall has a skill level of 6, and that is clearly shown. And Jake Villeneuve is finally in the pits. Yes, what was a very good racing day for Tailwind Racing. It's probably only going to be a single point scorer there. Max Verstappen somehow got up into P2, and we weren't informed about that whatsoever. What's going on? Yes, it is a 3-horse race there, so that's probably how it happened. Right. Yes, so there is a case to nerf for start differentials from this race as well, and it has been a very slow climb for Max Verstappen. I don't think it will be a race win, but actually it could be, because there's 10 laps remaining. I was going to say that on the previous lap, but I realised that there's not 10 laps remaining. Because like you find the difference, and then you need to count the final lap as well. It's weird maths. Like, error by ones are just annoying. And by the looks of things, Frost, under the 10-second time penalty, will be behind Willow. That doesn't mean anything. Willow needs to get ahead of Soft Paws at least to be in the points. And that being said, Soft Paws is still in the points for Mercedes Patronas. Lewis Ham is fighting somewhere else. Bark Louder goes into the pits. It's going to be Louder vs Tundra eventually back there. Nelson Puckett has just overtaken Sebastian Vettel for even more points. Oh my goodness, that is what you want. And actually, like, even more points plus another position. By the looks of things, another 2 positions, because Metro Gatto's 5-second time penalty might overlap onto Nelson Puckett there. Max Verstappen has, I think, broken the toe a little bit from Sally Snowball, by the looks of things, and might actually be challenging for the lead eventually in a couple laps' time. Angel Frost, is not in a good spot here and is unable to get any more positions. Purton Senna has come back out of nowhere, giving Lotus Whiskers double points as well for obviously Perro Rojo and Racing Paw. That is it for now. But it might actually not be double points for Perro Rojo, with Sebastian Vettel dropping, or looking like he's going to drop really far back. Nelson Puckett's just gone ahead of Oliver Behrman, plus 2 positions as well, leaves an awful lot of points for Wolf Williams at last. Actually, there's quite a gap between Soft Paws and Sebastian Vettel, so Perro Rojo probably shouldn't worry. If anything, they should worry about Willow, who is closing in. There's Fittipaldi against, is that Alonso? That is Alonso. Yeah. I really like the Jeddah circuit as well, because the circuit in Saudi Arabia, that is actually quite fun. There's because you can put your foot down and go through all the corners really quickly, or some of the corners really quickly. At the start it is very difficult to do so, I think, and then towards the end it is just much easier and it flows beautifully. But I mean, if I can somehow connect a gyroscopic controller to my computer, then what I can do is I can then play this racing game on there, but I can't for some reason. It's quite annoying. Or at least I'm not 100% sure how to. I tried connecting a Wii remote on here to play Wii Tanks, but then I found Tanks Rebirth, and that was much better. Anyway, Max Verstappen, that gap does not look like it's decreasing that much for Tuxedo Noki, so Max Verstappen might not take the race win here, but if he does, that's the first driver to get 2 race wins in a row. Oddly ironic in this day and age, with how boring F1 was. It's now gotten a little bit more exciting with more drivers winning. But we've had no repeat driver victories until today, with Tuxedo Noki taking home a second victory, with the first victory being on race number 3, which was Yas Marina, that's it. And that's when Koenigsegg really started to lose their lucky lead. Now, that being said, both the Racing Paw drivers, I believe, have not started last yet, I think. And both of the Koenigsegg's haven't started last yet, so I mean, suffice it to say they will most likely get points there. Willow Wolf is very close to Kitty Softpaws now. An overtake there will grant Koenigsegg's a point, just one. Person Sinner, Nelson Puckett, battling, or actually, they're not battling it out, they're too far apart, my bad. I thought they were for a moment then. And Angel Frost has finally gotten ahead of Macho Gatto. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this, there's 2 Melbourne races this year. The way it works is I spin a wheel for a race, and then I spin another wheel to determine whether or not we keep the race on the wheel or not. Like, it's a 1 in 20 chance for the race to be kept on the wheel. And Montreal was drawn twice, so we're going to have Montreal twice. Willow is up into P11, knocking Mercedes Petronas out of the points and scoring points for Koenigsegg. There's Sebastian Vettel trying the inside into Abbey, but that is not enough. Yeah, so annoyingly, annoyingly for the team in which this affects, both of the Renault drivers, which is Angel Frost and Fernando Alonso, got selected to drive last around Montreal. Okay, and that's not the greatest thing, but on the flip side, that can actually be quite good. And it's not looking too good here for Tailwind Racing, as Willow gets another position, and is now going to actually start clawing in more points for Koenigsegg. But like that being said, starting last in Montreal with the differential increase is not that bad, as long as you don't crash. If you don't crash, and like you're one of the few drivers that remains, which is quite unlikely, but if that does happen, you will be far better than all of them. There's also going to be no safety car when we go around Montreal, otherwise the race will take hours. And I'm saying that from experience, okay, because it takes like 3 minutes to get around Montreal, or to do 1 lap around Montreal under safety car. So, and like the safety car lasts for like 2, 3 or 4 laps. So that's like 6 to 12 minutes you're going to be waiting there. So, yeah, don't count on it. Right? Not even virtual safety car, because that's going to get annoying. Right? It's going to be, virtual safety car here, virtual safety car here. Yellow flags in the sectors are also going to be turned off as well, because yellow flags in the sector causes all the drivers to go under an imaginary virtual safety car. So yeah, and like the reason why we don't want that to happen is because when they go under an imaginary virtual safety car, as soon as someone crashes in the final corner, everyone else slows down. So there's not going to be a crash that leads into another crash and gridlock. No. But with that turned off, it's going to be a crash that leads into almost guaranteed gridlock, which is quite funny. I mean, it would be quite funny if one of the front runner drivers mucked up the end of the first lap, and then the entire grid completely smashes herself to pieces, just like Spa 1990 something, I think, when the entire grid just completely exploded and the race was reset, and I think like 6 drivers won. And I mean, like nowadays, that they don't do that. They don't send drivers into. It's basically like back in the day, they were pushing drivers off of a very high ledge, and that's it. They had to sort of survive for themselves. Some of them died. That's why it was made safer now. And now that F1 is much safer, we want to see F1 drivers being pushed off the ledge onto the now present safety mat. But no, they're just like, no, you can't go on that ledge. You must be attached to a harness. And even then, if it's too dangerous, no, forget it. We're not going to do the stunt. For goodness sake, just send them out there. If they crash, they crash. It's sort of what we want to see. As long as they're all right. Okay, that goes without saying. Oh my goodness, the gap between Alain Prost and Max Verstappen is incredible, and I cannot believe Max Verstappen, on slightly newer tyres than Tuxedo Noki and a differential setup, cannot catch up to Noki. Noki is literally unstoppable right now. or at least Verstappen has had 10 laps to do so, and in the time so far has been completely unable to. No DNFs this race as well, which is, I mean, annoying because there's no crashes or anything like that, but yeah. You also can't retire cars in this, just in case that's important information. 3 laps left, and by the looks of things, Whisper might have reached the maximum pace from them tyres. I mean, Nelson Popcat is caught up to Frost and Gator, and Frost and Gator have just been endlessly fighting. So Popcat might actually get even more positions there without having to get past them using penalties. Willow will gain 1 position from Frost, and that is just about it, really. No one has gone for fastest lap, set by Alan Prost. They're probably going to go for the fastest lap on the final lap, as usual. They somehow managed to pull out the fastest lap on tyres that are ancient. But that being said, I just saw Noki had like 71% ERS, 71% battery. That is incredible. So that is probably where it all came from. Max Verstappen has done an incredibly good race performance here, and obviously won in the previous race. So, but like, this is just, well, probably because of the last place finish. If anything, it's a recreation of the first race, isn't it? Because the first race, Willow started on pole, I believe. Jake Villeneuve started last and then managed to get all the way up into second place. It's an eerily similar comparison. But unfortunately, right now, Willow is in last. And that was... Who was that? That was Behrman getting ahead of Schumacher. Angel Frost has really lost an awful lot of time there. But it's not going too well for Willow either. Willow might actually get 2 positions. Is that an 8 or is that a 6? That was an 8. So Willow might actually wind up with 2 positions gained because of Gator, but only time will tell, quite literally. Willow certainly needs to apply more pace. There's Max Verstappen, who's sort of whittling down the gap as we go into the final lap. Usually, like, I don't think I've seen a first place or a driver who's currently in first place take fastest lap, because usually, like, the driver takes fastest lap and then all the other drivers beat that time. Tuxedo Noki does not set the fastest first sector. Verstappen was really closing down that time there, but that could have just been a distance illusion thing. At the very start of the race, there was no fastest first sector there. It is 52 laps as well. I'm not going blind. Why is, like, no one setting the fastest first sector? It doesn't make any sense. They have DRS and ERS. And also, no one is pitting for intermediate tyres, meaning it is not raining for once in England. And yes, Willow needs to apply even more pressure just to, like, keep ahead of Gator. Jake Villeneuve finally sets the fastest first sector, might actually get some points for Tailwind Racing, because they had a really strong position earlier and then just completely died out. Willow might actually take it to the line. Bart Lauder goes fastest in the first sector. Bart Lauder actually might get points, assuming Bart Lauder takes fastest lap. Lauder is on soft tyres as well, so there is that. But will anyone take it from Prost? And Tuxedo Noki wins in Silverstone, followed swiftly by Max Verstappen and Purton Senna. Where did Purton Senna come from? It's going to be Purton Senna, then Alan Prost, making it a 3-4 for Lotus Whiskers. An incredible ending performance right there, but what we really want to know is Macho Gato will give Willow the position That is an incredible ending right there. Frost, I don't think will be in the points. Actually, no, Frost might be. But also, like, come on, give it to Nelson Puckett for getting, actually in the points for Wolf Williams for the first time ever. And Bark Lauder crosses the line. Bark Lauder sets the fastest lap. Bark Lauder has stolen the fastest lap from Alain Prost that has been set at the very beginning of the race. In second place, yeah, we can ignore that. Nearly an hour. Have I been recording? I have been, I think. What a race. Tuxedo Lucky started first and finished first. Max Verstappen started last and finished second as well. An incredible performance for Lotus Whiskers as well. Fastest lap point is given to Bark Lauder. So Bark Lauder also gets points. We're just waiting on Nigel Barksall now, who is in points up here. Willow Wolf is in the points, far into the points. Kitty Softpaws is also into the points as well. Angel Frost got completely thrown out of the points, but Matrigato is still there. Racing Paw, Lotus Whiskers, Perro Rojo, double points. Wolf Williams also get points as well. And that is it. What a race. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well so you won't miss out on any of the new videos that are going to come out in Formula Paw especially. Thanks for watching.